Hey guys, welcome back.
Hello.
This week we are talking about Andy. Have you heard he's Sakamoto?
I I'm so upset.
Yes, we're talking about haven't you heard I'm Sakamoto?
I'm so upset.
All right, so first things first, Andy. Yay or nay?
Hell no. Hell no. Oh, why?
See, I thought it was charming in its own sense.
Holy fuck, did you find a stinker?
Oh my gosh, you hated it that much?
The person who wrote this show has zero idea what comedy is.
Really?
I can say, they got lucky in exactly 2 episodes, and that's it.
Really? What? Okay, explain.
Okay, so a comedy has to be based around breaking expectations, right?
Yes.
Breaking expectations can happen in a lot of ways. It can be exaggeration, it can be whatever. If the
Mm.
main if the main rule of the world that you make is that motherfucker is perfect, your punchline for your show can't be motherfucker is perfect.
Why
Does,
not?
does that make sense? Because it's a rule. Like, if you state it at the beginning, it's not the punchline. It isn't.
Like, the whole thing is them stating that punchline is why it's funny, is because they are just able to do all this stupid, ridiculous shit.
Here, okay. Well, we'll talk. Well, let's let's just put like okay. So there's the ridiculous stuff because the guy is perfect, right? What made 2 episodes, and I'm only saying 2 episodes I actually found amusing, were those episodes with what's his name's mom.
Oh, with his, like, the one quote-unquote friend.
Is it Yoshino Kubo?
Uh, I don't remember. I forgot to, let me pull up the characters.
God damn it. Whatever. But
I'm illfully not prepared for this.
but you know that you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, like his friend or whatever.
So so the punchlines to those are different than most of the show. The punchlines to those are or to those episodes are that his mom is literally losing her fucking mind, right? Like,
Yeah,
and that's what's funny is because somebody that perfect, people are going to obsess over. They're going to have all these sorts of like issues. If they focused around, like they tried to, I've got a feeling they really did try to, but like most of the time they're just like, oh, he's perfect, whatever, Sakamoto, like.
it's it's just funny the ways that they go about like how overly over the top perfect he is.
I mean, I can understand that, but as I took it as it's a rule of the world that he's perfect because it's kind of how they set it up,
Mm.
right? Like,
Yeah, but it's not the fact that like it was done poorly.
yeah, I'm not saying it was done poorly. I'm saying is that like it was written in a way where the punchline comes before everything else, and that doesn't work.
Mm. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't need a punchline really to be funny.
I mean, it didn't have those huge laugh out loud moments. it
Like, the thing is, it took me a couple episodes getting into it to, like, really start understanding the humor behind it. Because, yes, at first I'm just like, okay, this dude's perfect. But then just seeing how, like, over the top he gets with everything, and how he literally has no faults whatsoever with anything he does, is just, it started to become even, like, more and more funny. And the side characters really brought it together.
well, I'm tempted to say that Sakamoto is the side character. All these other people, like, they end up going for an episode about these characters that are around Sakamoto, and Sakamoto's just a side character.
To a degree, he can be, but in the end, everything revolved around him.
Yes, but always as like a second person perspective.
Yeah, I guess.
Because I mean, there's like what, 2 episodes that actually follow Sakamoto,
Mm,
and they're like cut in like aren't all the episodes like cut in half? It's been like a while since I've seen it.
If I'm remembering correctly, some of them are just kind of concrete for the entire thing.
Okay, yeah, no. So like, when I say that, like, I'm not necessarily saying like an entire episode. Like, I'm saying like maybe half an episode. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty. Because I just, oh my goodness, come frick on! I can't. Navigating this website, this fan website, whatever, is an absolute pain.
Generally happens.
Well, like, usually there's like pictures of all these characters and like they have their descriptions and stuff, and like this one, it's just you got names, you can click on them.
Yeah.
Okay, so oh, this show's a mess. You have a character that you liked. How
Do
about
I have a character that I really liked?
yeah.
Honestly, the Hayabusa, he was probably one of my favorite characters.
Okay, so the one who's trying to be cool and
Well, he's the thug that he's not really trying to be cool. But like he genuinely cares. The episode with like how he got Sakamoto's help to try impressing like his dad's girlfriend and stuff like that,
yeah.
and how like it just showing that he actually like his care for his family and stuff. And granted, it's the whole cliche like super tough guy is a super caring about his family and like underneath, and it's just like a front.
Yeah.
But even though that's like a complete cliche, it's not like it wasn't it's a cliche for a reason, because it's good in certain ways that they go about doing it.
Dude, how about Sierra?
Which one?
Sierra Yuya? The guy who like drops his pants and like
Oh, him, the bumblebee like underwear dude.
oh my god.
He wasn't even funny.
This show.
Like, his jokes weren't even funny. They were just bad.
I just like it that entire thing just physically hurt. Like, I just I hate this.
Well, I'm sorry. I guess I gave you a very shitty series.
Oh my goodness. It was
Like,
so...
I don't know what to say to that.
Dude, okay, what's really funny is how polarized the frickin' comment section is in this shit.
What do you mean?
Like I'm looking at like two separate posts from 2017, and one is, I think this character is pretty unique, away from all the cliche personality types in anime. I love this character. And then the next comment down, I hate him so much. Like, I'm thinking that's kind of just the gist of the show, because like in the end it is about the characters in this particular show, and the characters, you either just hate them with a seething passion, or you like that they're just not funny.
You just like that they're not funny.
Like that's kind of how it is, right? Like you just like that they're doing their own thing, and if they're doing it correctly, like, good on them. If they're not, like, what's really funny is, like, I'm looking through this wiki, and they're missing characters, and like and like only like
there were a lot of characters.
Well, yeah, but like I'm talking about like the nerdy guy that's the best friend. Like I can't find him anywhere in here. Like the like actually like full on dead ass important characters.
Yeah, the wiki I'm looking at is kind of bad itself.
So it's like cool. I mean, it shows you that like the people, like, there's out of all of the things that you can get passionate about, Sakamoto Desuka is not one of them. Right? Like it's not gonna, like, a lot of the shows that we've seen, like Kill la Kill, like you know what I'm talking about though, like even some of like the smaller shows, like we found like when we first started this, we started with the kindergarten one.
That wasn't our first episode though.
Well,
Our
no.
first episode was like the first half of Kaijo, Monster Musume, and then we also did Hanamaru.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, with Hanamaru, right? Like, there's such a small, like, that's a super specific, like, fan base that it's, like, trying to go after.
Yeah.
The thing is that it caught that fan base. Like, this show just does not seem to have people as committed to it.
I guess I could see that. Like, it's very different. I will give it that. Like, I definitely have not seen an anime that's like it.
Yeah, I'm tempted to say that's a good thing, but I do think that there is a way to make a perfect character an actual comedy. Like, because again, like, it was amusing when, like, people's, like, specifically the mother is, like, fantasizing about him, and like their marriage is going down the toilet because
all she can think about is him.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden she gets her heart crushed because he hides behind the TV and like
pretends that
he's just he's just an actor. Like,
he's just an illusion.
Like, that is awesome. I also think that perhaps it's more of a Japanese thing.
Could be.
Because I mean, it's playing off the whole like characters in media, and then they're like perfect, and then like there really isn't much in American media that has a perfect character, because we're all about flaws.
Yeah, that is a lot of the things with like shows and stuff in America, is like it's all about overcoming that flaw.
So So having this perfect character, because, I mean, like, let's go to, what is it? Oh My Goddess, right?
Oh, please don't rip
No,
on the show.
no. I'm saying, like, the main characters in there are supposed to be flawless, pretty much. Like, for the most part, right? Like, it's supposed to be innocent. There's supposed to be, like, you know, the awkward air in between them because they like each other, but they're so innocent they're not going to do anything, right?
Yeah, well, like I'm just gonna say I read the manga. They completely explained why that whole thing,
But
why they were never able to act upon anything. There was actually a reason behind that.
but the idea is that the characters are like 100% like innocent and quote unquote perfect, and I'm guessing that this is what that's going like to parody.
Like the whole perfectness.
Yeah, like having a perfect character in a show in media,
Yeah, I can see that.
which in the States we don't necessarily have, at least anymore. I know when shows first came around, there's like Everybody Loves Lucy, which
Superman.
even of themselves, they weren't perfect. Like, which was the joke. Like, everybody loves Lucy, except Lucy like has all these like, you know, factors going into things and has her own problems. And it's supposed to be like, she's perfect. She's like, heck no, I'm not. Like that was the joke. And I was expecting more of that in terms of, haven't you heard him, Sakamoto? Because, like,
Everybody thinks he's perfect when he knows he's not.
yeah, like if he had some sort of, like if he ended up tripping and falling or something, right? And it just so happened that him tripping and falling got him, like, a job and, like, you know, like, just weird stuff that would happen out of the blue, like, oh, that seems super random, but, like, they were able to rationalize stuff like that, and then you'd probably laugh, because then he'd be stuck as a fry cook because he fell down somewhere, and, like...
Yeah. I can see where you're coming from.
But yeah, I think that definitely is a cultural, like, difference.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's what a lot of like animes and stuff boil down to is just cultural differences.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some that are super funny, but this one, like, or like, what was it? Freaking Bo. This is on my list of like Bo, where it's like I just don't fucking get it. Like, if that is the case where it's literally a difference in culture, I just don't fucking get it.
Dick. Like, Boba was different though. Boba was awesome.
Bo couldn't find his own freaking pants to put on. Freaking lived in a goddamn sandwich. Go fuck himself. God.
I know, it was fantastic.
But it goes back to the punchline cannot be the rule. Like, you can't say like, oh, by the way, nothing's gonna make sense, it's all gonna be random, and then it'd be funny, because then it's just random. So like, my favorite explanation of this is because my brother was super into just random crap, right? He was so into YouTube poop when YouTube was first getting rolling, right?
Yeah.
I have never laughed at a YouTube poop because it's just random conglomerations of fuck all. Like, it means nothing to me. He loved it. I'm like, what's funny about it? And them trying to explain it is probably more funny than watching the show because they can't. because there is no rules. There's no set structure. Like, but like, if your structure is there is no structure, there is no comedy. So you do have a structure here, but you don't have comedy because the structure itself says Sakamoto's fucking perfect.
I can see where you're getting at.
But then again, there's a few episodes that are like, oh yeah, by the way, he's so perfect that this person who's supposed to be like kind of like crime group leader of the school is losing his fucking mind and scared the shit out of because Sakamoto's fucking perfect. Like,
he's too perfect.
Like, that's slightly amusing. It's not, it doesn't hit as hard as an actual punchline would be, but like, it's amusing.
Yeah, that's agreeable. Like, I do admit, those were some pretty funny episodes.
Like, I think that's just the thing. Like, for a comedy, I'm looking to laugh out loud, and this is not a laugh out loud comedy.
Yeah, like, I didn't find myself, like, laughing as hard as if I were, like, watching, like, Nichijou or, like, SYD or something like that.
Well, like, that's because SYD and Nichijou have those punchlines.
Yeah.
And what's so great about, well, like, SYD is very structured, and which is why it feels so awkward, is because every punchline comes immediately. Nichijou flows because the punchlines don't necessarily come at the time where the joke is made.
Oh yeah, it can come like five like mini episodes later.
See, like, my favorite example of that is the first episode where
Nano runs into the guy and it creates a gigantic explosion.
Yeah, and then halfway through the episode, you just cut back to her and she's stuck on a roof.
Like, how did I get up here?
Yeah, like, what's going on? And then it cuts back again at the end of the episode, kind of to wrap everything up.
And the guy's stuck on the roof.
And the guy's stuck on a telephone pole.
I remember that. Nichijou was great.
But that's the thing, is like, there were those moments where it was definitive and memorable, and like, Sakamoto just didn't have that. Like, I watched it like, what, 3 weeks ago now? We're so behind on things. But
yeah, life gets in the way.
Yeah, like a month worth of life. I can just, yeah. But
both of us.
Both of us. But I was gonna go somewhere with that, but I don't think I need to. Like, it kind of just explains itself. Like, just, I'm having trouble remembering things from the show because it's just not memorable.
Yeah.
Which, in a comedy, you kind of have to be. Like, it's part of what makes a comedy super good, is that, you know, you, like, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just start laughing, and you're just all like, and like, your friends look at you, you're just like, no, it was this thing I saw, like, it was a show, like, I watched it a year ago, and like,
I just remembered it.
It crept back up, and it was funny. Like,
I know, I find myself thinking about certain, like, comedy things at work and just start smiling and laughing.
But, like,
this is not one of those.
This is not one of those.
I've thought about, like, certain specific parts of the show, but, like, nothing, like, super duper sticks out. I think one of the best and funniest parts was, like, the first episode when, like, the punk was trying to get Sakamoto in class, and he, like, removes his chair, and Sakamoto just sits in midair.
See, at that point, it was already established. Well, it was kind of established, so I was just like, okay. Because I've done that to people, too, like, invisible sit. just like, alright, you want to take my chair, I'm just gonna pretend to sit here anyway.
Yeah, but I think we're just kind of going in circles at this point.
Oh, definitely. Well, it's like, what else is there to talk about the show? Like,
True.
the characters are very one-dimensional and bland. Like, there's a couple episodes of actual character development, but it never gets expanded on besides those one or two episodes.
'Tis true.
Yeah. So that's what we got.
All right, well, let's wrap things up then.
So the one before this was supposed to be
Well, it will be. I just need a little bit more time.
Gotcha. So the one before this is Evil or Live.
That was your suggestion.
Did I actually have you watch what's it called? The Welcome to the NHK?
You have not.
I think it's Welcome to the NHK. I can look it up on my computer. But why don't we do that? Because it was on my list, and you talked about, or it was on my list of waifus, and you were just like, I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah, she was like your number 2 or 3.
I think she was number 2. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, something like that. But all right, so yeah, I guess we'll do that next week or whenever.
Yeah,
whenever we feel like it.
Whenever you don't go AFK for a month and press the wrong button on YouTube to set it for never.
Hey. Mistakes happen.
Mistakes happen. Yep, they also like kill channels. That's good.
We're not dead.
We're mostly dead.
We're suspended.
We're suspended.
We're not dead. We're just in a coma.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, we are in trouble. Haha, nurse, I'm gonna pee the bed.
And you're gonna think I didn't do it intentionally.
Yeah. See? When you know, you're just gonna pee the bed.
Alrighty, we'll see you guys next time.
Take it easy. Bye.
Bye.